Megan here, ready to go through the 2019 USEF Training Level Test 2. This is test 2 of 3 at this level, which again is going to be used to demonstrate that the rider and horse have a basic understanding of the basics, and in addition to a little more acceptance of the bit. So let's see what we're getting into. So at this test, we're going to introduce the stretch circle in the trot. I have a picture here to show a decent example of one. Notice that the rider still has some contact with the bit, but it's allowing the horse to stretch the neck down in addition to letting the horse's back come up. The horse's head and neck doesn't have to be totally down to the ground. Here you see it's level with the shoulder, which is completely acceptable. So that's something to certainly focus on during training sessions, because this isn't going to go away. You'll see this movement well up the levels here. So something to start working towards getting good at. All the work can be ridden rising or sitting unless stated. So that stretch circle is an example of where in the test it would say you have to do a rising trot. So just be aware when you're reading your test if there is a movement that's specific there. For the most part, this will be done at rising trot, so that shouldn't be a problem. And here your halts may be done through the walk. It's not in the test, but it's just known that you have that 3 to 5 step when you go down to your halt and back up to the trot. So all the information is taken from the Training Level Test 2 score sheet that's in this presentation. And if you need more information, check out usdf.org for more information. All right, so let's get started here. We're going to start at A, enter working trot, X, halt salute, and proceed working trot. Again, you get that 3 to 5 walk steps down to your halt and back up to the trot, so certainly take that time. If you need help with making sure you have that willing, calm transition, want to make sure that we are straight on the center line and that the horse is immobile for that 3 seconds, including that 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Stuff to work on. C, track right. B, circle right 20 meters. So this is just a general, can you ride a 20-meter circle and show off that you know what bend is, and do you have regular rhythm, all that good stuff that goes into a 20-meter circle. And then when you get to letter K, we're going to change rein across the diagonal. Here's our first coefficient of the test, meaning that your score here is going to count double. So if you get a 6.5, that means you get 13 for this whole movement. Now, I do recommend showing off your trot here. Open up the stride if you can. Don't rush it, though. I mean, tempo is important. You don't want to get quick, but if you can certainly show off a little more cadence here, then by all means do so. And then between C and H, working canter left lead. So again, here's another coefficient. Test 1, you had most of them during your downward transitions. Here we're seeing it for your upward. So looking for the same willing, calm transition and balance as well. E, circle left 20 meters. Again, can we do a 20-meter circle showing off the shape and size and the correct bend? So at this point, you've been cantering a little bit longer than in test 1, so hopefully your horse is fit enough to handle that. We are doing a downward between E and K, and hopefully the horse is straight, the haunches aren't swinging in or out, and it's a willing and calm and pleasant looking transition. So here is our stretchy circle. So when you get to letter A, circle left 20 meters, rising trot, allowing the horse to stretch forward and downward while maintaining contact. Before A, you're going to shorten the reins, and by the time you get to A, you should have your working trot reestablished. So the big thing here is that we're doing a light contact, and you're not throwing the reins away at the horse, and they want to see that if the horse is in stretch, do they keep the same rhythm, and do they maintain balance as well? So it's kind of a good movement to show if you do have basics, because if you do your stretch circle and the horse falls apart, kind of means you need to go back a step and see where you're at. So this is kind of the indicator of where you're at in your training. And then at F, we're going to medium walk and then change rein across the short diagonal to letter E. So this is a coefficient here for your walk work. It's important that you do have a good medium walk. The horse isn't tense and worried about what the next movement's going along. You want to show clear 4 beats in your rhythm. And then E to M, change rein free walk. So here we're going to give complete freedom to stretch the neck forward and downward. Unlike the stretch circle, you do want to give the horse complete freedom. So contact shouldn't be maintained in your free walk. And again, this is a coefficient, so your walk work does mean a lot in this test. So make sure that that's something that you practice at home. C, working trot. Don't forget that your transitions are done as the horse's shoulder is at the letter. So don't be too early or too late with that. And then the mirror image of the first part of the test, we're going to circle left 20 meters, showing off again that we know what a 20-meter circle is all about. And then F.X-H, change rein. Try to open up that stride a little bit without getting quick. Again, this is a coefficient, so use it to your advantage to show off the quality of your horse's gait, honestly. Between C and M, working canter right lead. Again, another coefficient. So make sure that this transition is a good quality, balanced transition so you can maximize your points. B, circle right 20 meters. Riding that circle to make sure that it's the right size. At this point, you certainly should know how big a circle is in the middle of the ring. If not, certainly work with your trainer with that. And then between B and F, working trot. So for this movement, when you read through your test, the next one is to come down center line. So for this transition coming from canter to trot, I highly recommend and tell students to do it as close to B as possible. That way you get as many trot steps to reestablish your balance, because then you have to make this tight turn down center line. So I always recommend as soon as you get past letter B, thinking about that downward. If you wait till you're closer to F, you're going to have a heck of a time trying to make that turn. It's doable, but you just want to give yourself a fighting chance for that. Because as you can see, we turn down center line and then exhale salute, and we can leave the arena in a free walk and exit at A. So the center line, again, is very important that we're straight and immobile during that halt. Some key points: take time in transitions for maximum balance. Don't throw your reins away at the stretch circle in the trot, and show off that trot on the diagonal lines. So if you kind of study those points, it should hopefully give you the most points for your test. So thanks again for listening, and I'll see you for the next one.